Shutdown is making life incredibly tough for thousands of federal employees in the Bay Area. Some who are considered critical and essential, such as TSA employees at our three major airports, are still on the job, but not getting paid as the bills keep coming in. NBC Bay Area's Jody Hernandez shows us how they're handling the hardship.
TSA workers say their last paycheck was only about half of what it should have been. That's because they only got paid through September, before the government shut down. Now they don't know when they'll be paid again.
Our job is to keep everybody safe and to keep the economy going. The Oakland Airport is an economic engine for the area.
But while TSA workers are critical to keeping our airports running smoothly, they're now expected to work without pay. With 17 no-pay days now on their timesheet, the union says it's getting harder and harder for many to make ends meet.
There's many workers that live paycheck to paycheck. They have child care issues.
The union says their workers worry they won't have enough money to cover rent, child care, and other basic necessities. Yesterday, the Alameda County Food Bank brought groceries to the airport. TSA workers each got a pantry bag, a box of produce, and coffee.
It's tough. I mean, honestly, I can understand it. I have a family right here. I obviously would want to be able to provide and put food on the table. So I don't know what the solution is.
Travelers say they feel for the workers and appreciate all they do.
They're here, they're showing up, they're making sure that we're still safe here in our country. They're making sure that everyone is, getting through, and they're doing their job.
It's really hard to go to work every day and not get paid. I'm sure they could stay at home and sit on their couch and at least be like, if we're not getting paid, we might as well stay here.
The union says their workers are professionals and understand the important role they play, but admit it's getting harder. The Federal Transportation Secretary recently noted a jump in sick calls among air traffic controllers around the nation. Tonight, the union continues urging workers to keep showing up.
My hope is that the economy keeps going, that everybody negotiates and the shutdown ends and everybody can get paid for the work that they've done.
There are increasing concerns that unpaid employees will start calling out for shifts, but the TSA issued a statement this afternoon saying their agency hasn't experienced any delay in operations due to sick calls. In Oakland, Jody Hernandez, NBC Bay Area.
I'm surprised the government shutdown is still in effect because I thought it would probably last about 2 weeks, but now we're approaching about 1 month. And so many people will not have access to government assistance programs such as EBT and SNAP benefit. You can just go on social media and you can see a lot of people complaining about it. A lot of people are concerned. A lot of people are whining about it because they understand that this government shutdown would definitely have an impact on how they receive food benefit, how they receive a lot of things from the government when it comes to government assistance. And also, this government shutdown, while it's still going on, it will definitely have an impact on a lot of federal workers, such as TSA workers. Throughout the country, a lot of TSA workers will not be getting paid. A lot of them are not going to be getting paid because of the government shutdown. And they're nervous because they play such a pivotal role in the functioning of airports throughout the country. Because there's certain positions, there's certain jobs that a lot of Americans probably don't even consider or even take for granted until some of the workers decide to go on strike. That's when a lot of people start finding out how important this job is to keep things from functioning. For example, a couple years ago in 2024, if I'm not mistaken, probably last year, 2024, there was a strike on port workers or dock workers on the East Coast of the United States. And many Americans probably don't even pay attention to them. Many Americans didn't even know how important that job is. But once they went on strike, many companies started being concerned because they are the people who operate the machine, who operate the import and export of everything that comes in and goes out the country. And once they were on strike, a lot of companies started sounding the alarm. They realized that these people are very important and the government basically bent the knees and to accommodate to the needs that they were asking for, because they was asking for higher wages, better benefit, and not to implement artificial intelligence to replace their job. So jobs like TSA, it is very important for airports because I've worked at the airport. And when I was 19, I worked there as a ramp agent. A ramp agent is the person who basically put the luggage inside the plane. That was when I was 19. And then when I was 25, I worked as a security coordinator at the airport. And I was in charge of basically inspecting the food that goes inside the plane. We didn't go through TSA security, but we had our own security corridor that we go through to make sure that all the food that goes inside a plane is very secure, because we had access to a lot of planes. And the step-by-step process of just securing those food, it was very, very tedious, especially by some of the security agency that was actually working inside the airport. But the point that I'm just trying to say is this: it's these TSA workers, in my opinion, need to get paid, because if they don't get paid, some of the airport will not be functioning right. There will be a lot of delay, because when I was working at the airport as a ramp agent, for every delay, for every 1 minute of delay at a plane, they will charge us, the company, if it's our fault, $1,000, especially if it's a domestic flight. But if it's an international flight, they will charge us $10,000 for every minute that's late. So it was very imperative that we were on time, that we put the luggage inside the plane on time. Because if there were to be a delay, it has to be a maintenance delay, or it has to be a delay by the airline, but not by our company. So all this delay that could potentially be happening in the holidays, which is coming up, on Thanksgiving is coming up, we have a Christmas that's coming up, and we have New Year's. And those are the time where many airports throughout the country is probably the most busiest time, because people are flying all over the place. People are flying to go see their family. People are flying to go hang out. People are flying for Thanksgiving. And that's when most of the airport throughout the country is the busiest. And if TSA is not getting paid, some of the TSA workers will try to find other avenues to provide for their family, meaning they'll either try to go do DoorDash, or either try to go do Uber, or they could potentially go find a different job. And now those positions in TSA will basically be left empty, and it will take time before the TSA company or TSA agency hire another person to be able to be doing those jobs. You have even air traffic controller who could potentially also not be showing up, and they are vital for the functioning of the airport, because they're the one who basically bring in the plane, they direct the plane, so the plane will not be able to collide with each other on the runway, and on and on. And I think this is very concerning, especially that a lot of TSA workers are not getting paid, because under no circumstance I will recommend any of those TSA workers to show up even though they're not getting paid. If you choose to do that, that's on you, but I would not recommend that. I'd rather probably stay home. I'd rather probably go do other things, or try to go do DoorDash, or figure out something. But so far, this government shutdown is continuing. You have both sides who are not agreeing, who are not coming to an agreement, because for multiple reasons. And it definitely having an impact on so many people's life. It's definitely having an impact on so many people's livelihood, because so many federal workers who probably thought they are working a secure job because they're working for the federal government, they're probably now concerned about putting food on the table, providing for their family, and the future does not look bright because they're concerned. And I hope this federal government shutdown could potentially come to an end, but I don't know. Let's wait and see. Let me know what you think about this. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you like, you share, you subscribe. Please leave a comment.